Oh, we're gonna get started soon. Anyway, greetings everybody. And welcome back to some more of NCAA basketball, where now that we found out that one of our participants in the national championship game is gonna be Michigan. So they ended up winning. So that Kansas and who's the other team? Villanova. That should be a decent game. But now we're just jumping into this and see if we can take care of North Carolina. But really the biggest problem I'm going to have to deal with is this guy. You remember in my one-off I did end up getting a lot of points with him in the national championship, so I got to be careful of that. Okay, decent start so far. Let's see what they're in. So it looks like, okay, we're in a stack, so I think we had to, yeah, we're gonna run a 2-3 set. Hey, Hot Sauce, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, this is definitely one I enjoyed playing a lot of. So what I'm trying to do is, 'cause I think they changed right to a 2-3 zone on me. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do, is get those backdoor cuts going. Okay, so I do bring the ball up. I almost had that one. So far I've actually gotten lucky with the way the teams have played, because most of the time when I play this, these guys just run all over the place. Or these guys just push the ball. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So anyway, how have things been with you? I mean, I don't think I've seen you on stream before, so just wondering. I missed it. I tried to make a pass I shouldn't have. Yeah, they ended up getting that one. So let's see here. I think they went back to a pressure defense. So usually with that, I go to the 1-4 set or the 2-3 set, one of those two. And then just trying to cause confusion and just run around a bunch of screens. And just try and get my offense that way. That's not good. So I think this guy can shoot threes, but I guess not. Oh, I'm having a decent day so far. It is the weekend, so nothing to complain about there. Yeah, this guy cannot let shoot. Of course, that would be great if I can get him fouled out. Or at least get him in some foul trouble. But either way, I was watching videos on the Amoeba Zone that UNLV played. Like way back in the early 90s. It was interesting that, or the way they did it. Just because it was kind of like a mix of like a 1-3-1 and then a box and diamond and one. Like surprisingly, they still played the diamond and one. And then also mix some 1-3-1 elements in it. Because also they had such athletic players that they could pull that stuff off. And then, who else was there? So I think that 2-3 zone's kind of making a comeback. Yeah, this is going to be the tough part about these guys, is that since they're playing a spread, they're going to shoot a lot of threes. And unfortunately, these guys have really good three-point shooters. Now, I was trying to free you up. That is kind of the hard part with this game, is that sometimes the computer just doesn't do what you want it to. I almost hit it. So either way, what we're trying to do is just try and keep this close and then take over in the second half or so. Because I'm just more or less trying to wear out their defense. Although, just like everybody else, my brackets have already been blown to hell, so can't do much with that. I missed him. Just gotta go ahead and, yeah, we're just gonna sub players. So I think what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna try and go to more of a 3-guard lineup. So let's see here. So I want, yeah, we'll do that, and then yeah, just sub the guards in now. So I think I'll go back to that 2-3 set and see if that works out for me. So I think I'm just going to try and use depth and speed to wear these guys down. Just like so. And then we'll just stay on here. Just try and stay on target this way. So then, that's it. I think what I'm trying to do just to beat this spread is just keep up the pressure defense. Except the only issue with the man-to-man is that sometimes guys can get tired quicker. They gotta let them get away. Then that's the other issue with the defense I have set up, is that I got a small team, so I could get out rebounded. And then I think Gardner's the one that's gonna have to carry me off the bench. I almost had him. At least I thought I had him. Just don't let this guy shoot any threes. Well, looks like these guys are shifting their philosophy already. I'm just gonna try and sub out the rest of my guys. Especially because we got a pretty close one so far. Then just trying to make my move this way. Oh, that was actually a pretty decent game, that Loyola Michigan game. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Okay, now I think I'm starting to figure these guys out. Or at least I'm starting to figure out the defense. Of course, it also helps when you can trap them in the half court. Which is one way you could always... Oh, damn it. Missed that one. But really, the half court trap is really one of the best things you have going for you in this game. I don't need to worry about him shooting. No, they're just trying to get a decent shot off. That's not what I wanted. Mostly because they can do that. And I gotta figure out how to defend that. So I'm thinking I might want to switch the options so that I can switch when the ball gets passed. So I'm kind of just trying to wear them down throughout the game. Yeah, just do more of this. So I think I gotta start some of my guys back in pretty soon. Trying to get the trap. Did not really get that out in the right spot. So now I think I can put the rest of my starters in. So far, I think my 2-3 set's been working for me. I just gotta figure out how to get them to stop making threes. Almost hit it. God, this guy cannot shoot threes, can he? That's probably why I don't want him in at the end of the game. And then, let's see. Just gotta get that trap going. Get the Just try and trap him in a corner like this. Set down, he squirms away like that. Okay, good. Now get the ball. So I think I gotta hold out for last shot here. So then I think I just run this down to about 15 seconds or so. Because at the end of the day, I just don't want to give these guys a cheap three. Because unfortunately, they're really good at that. Okay, now make your move quickly. There, that's what I wanted. So we got a pretty close one going here. Let's see, Lawton has 6 points. So let's see, I think instead of quad A, give me somebody who could shoot some threes. Alrighty, well Logan, you're in. Okay, good. This is definitely going to be a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But it should be more interesting regardless. At least more entertaining for you guys too. Let's just get that quick one off. I think Fell might be one of their power forwards actually. That he's playing small forward. Although interestingly enough, I'll probably just do some random sport or some random Tecmo Super Bowl stream talking about the NFL draft. Because that should be an interesting one. With all the, see if they can hold any quarterbacks. Or just who gets drafted where. Because I also think, although it is also interesting with what's going on with, this latest investigation in the NCAA. Would be interesting if that ever got to football. But I think since the NBA is going to abolish the age limit, so I don't think college is going to be that enticed to cheat anymore, but who knows. Or they're at least going to abolish the one and done rule. I mean, I thought it was a decent idea because you had too many guys like Kwame Brown coming out too early before they were ready, and then the league quality really suffered. But then at the end of the day, it kind of created a few more problems than it solved. Like, it solved a few problems, but it created more. I had jumped a little too early on that one. So fortunately, we're very slowly getting away. And then just try and use the screens, create chaos. Oh, I'm wondering why Arnold's a point guard. Though he might have actually ran Roberts into the ground. But now I'm kind of scared to sub because I'm actually kicking this lineup's ass. And then just grind and wear him down. That is what we're going for here. Hello, baseball season just started too. Which was actually kind of early considering just that it was at the end of March instead of the beginning of April. Torp. Just trying to work the thing. Now I can sub, guys. Yeah, Dalton, you stay. And then we'll go... Yeah, I think that's what we're going for now. Although you would think with a bigger lineup they would utilize that matchup more. But fortunately in this game, bigger also means slower. So we can just wear them down that way. There we go, finally got one of those. And let's just keep staying on target here. Now, this has not been an easy one so far, I'll say that much. And then right on cue they blow an assignment. Although, let's see what they do the rest of the game. Because so far this 2-3 set's been working well for me. There, that's what I wanted. I don't know if this guy can center. So I think... yeah, that's what we'll go with. So let's see here. So I got about 6 minutes left. Kinda thinking I want to go to my finishing lineup pretty soon. Probably with about 5 minutes left I'll do that. I do not need to be running myself into the corner like that. The good thing about the 2-3 set, just create confusion. And just make them shoot those long twos. That's what we're going for. Inefficiency on their part. Pretty close on that one. Oh, that was my own fault. And O'Connor, you come again for the rest of the game. And then... oh, Webb, you're already there. You know what, Logan, you're back in. So also, I gotta check on that, cause I think there's, what, a half-hour break between the games? I was not expecting that. Also not expecting that. Okay, just get that trap going. And just watch him pirouette into a charge. Fortunately, the pure winning charge is the best kind of charge. And just staying aggressive here. I may or may not want to sub-web out. Although looking to the national championship, this could be an interesting one. And then as far as that Kansas-Villanova game goes, I think I've got Villanova winning that one. That's because I think their shooting is going to be more than enough for Kansas to handle. Even though I think that Jayhawks are the more complete team. So we're just trying to run down the clock here. Basically the close things out game. Or strategy. Because even if I don't score, at least I run off a bunch of clock. Just still too much for them. Just keep working. And so far that 3-guard lineup's actually been working pretty well. Because I know a lot of teams do that now. That's not what we need. Especially because before I could experiment with those 3-point shooting teams and then just have them shoot from half court. And they actually do make that a lot. As long as we just get the work in that way. Although I really don't remember a thing about playing Duke or Kansas in this game. Because I think I only ran into Duke a handful of times. And then I think out of all of them, Kansas might be tougher. Yeah, we'll just take that. And then let's just see if we can't win the trap this way. I do not appreciate them constantly leaving their man. But at the very least, we should be able to just run down the clock from here on out. Now, at the very least, I can just end the game that way. These guys play the stack interesting. Did once watch a game, or watch another guy stream this game. Turns out he had a 1-point game. And one more for good luck. So fortunately, we are going to the national title game. So I got 2 13-point games and an 8-point game. Then fortunately we were able to hold things down defensively. Then we wore them down pretty well too. Anyway, time for the title game. Who are we getting? Now we're getting Duke this time. Oh well, knocking off both North Carolina and Duke in the same tournament seems worth it to me. And then also I did read that this game came out in accordance to the 1991 tournament. So the national championship was actually Duke against Kansas. Although I do not remember how these guys play at all. Okay, they're in a man. So let's just do something about that. I got lucky with another bring the ball up type of team. Okay, let's just stick with that. I think I only ran into, I think, 1 or 2 teams that actually run. Then let's just let him pirouette into a charge. Yeah, so I think like after maybe a few minutes I'll probably sub Quaddy out. They got there in time. And then just try and keep it up this way. Then I think, I don't think their 3-point shooters are as dangerous, but they're still not going to be easy to deal with. Unfortunately, I got my center still. Yeah, see, that's what we're looking for. Just get some quick offense. And just go ahead and stick with that. Although I don't remember if I really played with Duke all that much in this game. Although it was a shame we never got to see those Michigan teams. Or those Indiana teams in this game. Actually, that would be a pretty interesting hack if, or if somebody actually hacked this and made different rosters. I know, like, the European and Japanese versions of this game are a little bit different. Like, the gameplay is still the same, but the, like, the players and then the teams are a lot different. I just hope my guys don't get tired quicker. So then we want Logan instead. But then I'm thinking sometimes it's random as to who does what. Because I definitely played some of those same teams before that run, and then the other ones I use spread and just slow things down. Just go ahead and keep this up. Because really what I'm trying to do is just make sure I get them trapped and then make sure the same thing doesn't happen to me. Because so far the 2-3 set's been doing really well against these man defenses. And with the way that offense is set up, usually the point guards and the shooting guards are going to get the most points. Get your half-court trap. Although, in other news here, turns out Dan Hurley got hired away by UConn. So URI's got to figure out what to do with that one. I'm kind of thinking their assistant should just get the job. Unless somebody really blows them away, I think that should happen. And then Xavier's coach went to Louisville. That was a lot closer than that should have been. Not what I was going for, but almost what I was going for. So it took them about, say, 5 minutes, but they got their first points. Yeah, I think I'll stick with that. So anyway, hopefully everybody's doing well out there. Also worked out today pretty hard. So the important part is just to keep up the attack. Although next week I should have the I'm still gathering all the info for my UFC fight preview. But I am definitely hyped for that card. Yeah, there's still a lot of things I still gotta figure out with like our predictions and whatnot. So then I also gotta check like who is a favorite where. Yeah, I missed it. Forgot this guy's kind of fast. Although, also on a side note, my team I'm playing on stream for Baseball Stars is actually a lot improved. I got a whole bench now. I got the pitching staff complete. So we should be able to destroy everybody we see. Kind of key the ball and then wear him down that way. Isn't exactly the pick and roll offense. Even though it is extremely bare bones when you think about it. Wouldn't necessarily call it bare bones, I guess I would say predictable. Especially now, players are just too athletic to cover it. Or most centers at least are athletic enough to deal with it. I think I gotta sub one guy out. Yeah, that's what we were going for. So Webb, you're back in. far, I kind of like where this is going. Gotta make sure my window's not open again. Because sometimes it just happens by accident when the window gets open. Because there was this one time for a while I had just this really cold part of my room, and then it turns out my window was open in the dead of winter. Of course that was my own damn fault for not checking. But that is just kind of how things go when it's cold. Although I haven't really gotten a bonus anytime soon. But then again, you can't get in the bonus because of offensive fouls. Does not work that way. Let's try to force him into a bad shot. Fortunately, that didn't happen. I think my guys might be slowing down. And that special dunk. I almost had that one. Although I probably shouldn't be pressing X when their guy's back is turned. Really easy way to get fouls called on you. I've got to check that window at halftime. It doesn't always get this cold in my room. Well, it does. Although that's always annoying whenever they you end up playing well defensively and then they just end up getting a 3 off it. Just trying to deal with my shoulder now. So let's see, Logan, you're back in. I think we can just switch this out. So fortunately I built up a big lead early, and then that's been good. It's actually been relatively even since then. I say relatively, but I don't really know. Alright. Yeah, so I think I gotta switch these two. Well, good news and bad news. Good news is the window was open. Bad news is I spilled a chunk of my water, so I'm gonna go clean it up now. Alright, sorry about that. I just knocked over my water and I don't feel good about that. Because that is a lot of water. See, they subbed out a lot of guys. Although it is funny, there's a guy named Sylvig. Of course, my brother used to make fun of me and call me that all the time. This is back when we were doing this. I let him get away. That was my own fault. So I think I can definitely take advantage of this guard matchup. Because for some reason they've got a center playing guard. I'll just stay on target here. See, that's called just being smarter with when to steal and when not to. Name of the game is depth. Oh, that guy is extremely slow. Also, was funny at that one commercial they had in Pizza Hut with the NCAA tournament. There's like, I ate the whole pizza before we started, so I am incredibly slow. And then the other guys are just staying around watching. Might have to link that commercial at some point. I don't know why, but that just made me laugh. Did not need that before the half. Well, fortunately, I got a decent lead here. Let's see here. I think I might just stick with the same lineup. Of course, we're a little bit away from winning this thing. Let's see here. Okay, so they went with the pretty much the same guys they did to close out the half. So I'm definitely gonna have to abuse this Rooney matchup some more. Of course, that could be bad if he ends up posting me up. I don't think I had to worry about that for this game, though. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Although what might be interesting is, I guess the rest of the fallout after this investigation's done. Because I also remember reading an article on ESPN that that whole thing started because of some businessman in Pittsburgh who like messed up with a movie or something like that. Although tomorrow is also April Fool's, so I've got some things planned. That'll be some interesting things. Because I know I'm just playing a bunch of bad games for the channel. And try not to drive myself insane. Which I do have a pretty high tolerance for that, actually. Because I think one of the other terrible games I played for this channel, probably Douchebag Beach Club. Because I actually didn't find Douchebag Life to be that bad, because I was constantly moving forward. Although I would like to see a... I don't think I ever played Douchebag Workout 2 though. I've played some of a Douchebag Workout 1. It's actually a lot worse than the other games. Let's see what we got them in now. Oh, they're showing a little bit more urgency here. Yeah, that's what we needed. So let's see here. I think we wanted... Yeah, Porty, you can be there. And then Webb will have you here. I don't know if we want Quaddy here or not. Then just make your subs accordingly. And then just abuse this matchup. Although, just all the crazy things that happened in this tournament so far. Well, Loyola winning wasn't one of them. I also think Michigan had a really good team going in. Thought I defended that one well, but it turns out that Bright's a lot taller. So that is definitely the one drawback to this smaller lineup. Is that guys will shoot over you like it's nothing. And just stay with it. Cause that 41, especially because I'm gonna start milking that matchup now. So I kinda gotta be worried about that. But you know what, I'm not worried about this. And then I think I might just sub my guy after, that's not what I wanted. I might sub my guys out. Yeah, let's just do that now. Then we just have Milner for a few minutes. And then Dalton back there for a few minutes. I think we're just going to stick with a small lineup. It's been serving us pretty decently. Okay, that got a lot closer than that needed to be. That was a good tight roping act on O'Hara's part. And then there's just trying to stick with a... Okay, now they got Rooney there. I gotta do something about that. Just slightly nuts, but necessary. Can't really have a guy who's supposed to be a center shooting over a guy who's supposed to be a point guard. Don't think it's supposed to work that way. Then we're just trying to stick with the end here. Okay, that's what we wanted. Okay, phone battery's dying, that's always good. I'm probably just gonna have to plug that back in just as soon as we get done here. I do not need to get myself trapped in a corner like that. Okay, well at least I put myself in a somewhat manageable position here. Next, I gotta sub my guys out for the end of the game. And just stick with it that way. Don't know if Dalton is the right guy should have as my power forward. So you know what, I think we can keep him there. Cause I gotta get O'Connor back in. And then we'll just stick with it this way. Although I do not need you getting in my way now, center. We should be approaching endgame soon. And by that, of course, I mean closing it out. Yeah, so fortunately, the quick attacks after turnovers have been working out pretty well for me. So, Connor, you're back in. Dalton, you stay. And Webb will have you back in. Yeah, I think that's what we're going for. Although I also saw that Duke's former assistant went to Pitt. So that could be a little interesting ACC rivalry. Which barely makes any sense since, cause I know in this game Pitt was a Big East, but then a bunch of people moved. But for better or worse, that's just how that went. So you got money, you got these super conferences. You know, that's just the way things are. And then academics is in there somewhere. Keep letting this guy get away. So we should be getting... Yeah, we're only about 3 minutes away. We're still staying somewhat aggressive. Of course, I could go without these guys abandoning their man right before the 3. Because so far, that's the only thing that's been screwing me today. Of course, not that I should be complaining since I'm up by 32, but still. Although I am wondering for the next sports day if I should do an NHL game at some point. Because I know that, what do I have? Like 96, 97, and 98, those are all decent games. I did have 95 growing up. So I was wondering if I should just make my own team and then try and win there. Because I know that before I used to have a bunch of Mega Man X bosses and then try and win that way. Or with those guys. I did the same thing for Tecmo Super Bowl 3. Where I had like X4 through X6. At least X3 had so many characters that you could just use that one. Yeah, so unfortunately it took a little bit too much of a risk trying to get that last pass. And then ended up messing that one up. Although, once I do get a capture card, I am going to have to test my settings. Or especially test, like, how I'm going to figure, like, where I'm going to stream from. Because the way mine is set up is that, my computer desk is, facing a different direction than my TV. So I just got to figure out how to figure that. How do I get that going? Kind of went with a sandwich defense on that one. Of course, I let my guy get away. Although I'm surprised more people haven't used the sandwich defense. Not that that exists, but still. Then we'll just go ahead and just run this down to like, yeah, 10 seconds or so. Anyway, whoever showed up, hopefully you enjoyed this. That was not a good shot. Alrighty, well, we can just hold the ball for the rest of the game. Unfortunately, I was able to win the championship in actually somewhat easy fashion. You know, maybe I don't think Texas Tech was as bad as I gave them credit for. Kinda thinking I should have picked a different team. Because I know I did one with Tennessee and then one with Baylor. I think I had a lot more trouble with Tennessee, actually. But either way, that's that, so we won the national championship. So either way, I have showed the ending off before in my one-off. But let's just see it again real quick. Oh, the music in this game is actually pretty good. It is kind of unfortunate they didn't have in-game music. Especially with the Olympics, they've had some really good basketball done. Alright, what was that they said? It's like I've been saving this for the Olympics or possibly the Final Four. Although it would be interesting if they had a college team. Or they had two Team USAs, like a college team and a pro team. And then just mix them up. Yeah, it took over a team that went 8-23. Well, either way, that's that. So either way, this was a pretty decent game, and actually a pretty decent little series. And you get to see like who worked on the game. And yes, for those of you wondering, all the names in this game are from different people who worked on the game. See, there's Webb. So I don't think I can get out of this. Or maybe eventually it's just gonna get out of it for me. I don't really know. But also, Sunday I do have an April Fool's stream planned. And I'm gonna be taking on a lot of terrible games, so Hopefully I'll see you guys for that. Okay, I guess I can't get out of this. Oh, well, whatever. Thank you guys for watching, commenting, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Probably about... I don't know, it depends on if I have something to do then. We'll go for 3 Eastern. Or 4 Eastern. How's that sound?